Do you ever notice how sometimes you get a gut feeling and a picture pops into your mind? Well, what if I told you that this force, our intuition, might be the key to breaking free from the old ways and find your new true path? Well, in today's episode, I'm going into how that gut feeling is your divine guidance system and that it is always leading you towards your heart's desire. So stick around and find out. Hey everyone, welcome to True Thoughts. I'm Jose, and every day I share a powerful insight from my daily studies on success and mindset. So join me as we uncover the keys to overcoming doubt, boosting confidence, and building a new success mindset. Whether it's fear, procrastination, or self-improvement, these transformative lessons will catapult you to achieve more. So let's go ahead and dive into today's big idea. So today I realized how intuition and logic are not the same. And this is important because a lot of times we tend to overthink things, and that overthinking overwhelms us. And in that overwhelm, we tend to get into this space, into this mode of stress and anxiety. We try to figure everything out, or we try to control everything, especially those things that we know we can't control, and we still try to control them anyway. And then there are other times when we get these ideas, these pictures in our mind of good things happening. And because of these good pictures in our mind, we get these positive feelings of confidence. Like, you know what? This is what I want and I can get it. But then immediately after that, we get these other ideas that are negative. Like, oh, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are for wanting that? Or you can't have that. Or no one in your family has ever had that. What makes you think you can have that? Does that sound familiar? I know that happens to me a lot. And so what we need to understand is that these two differences in thinking are actually not the same. We have to distinguish the difference between the two. So think about it like this. Every time you have a positive thought, that positive thought is your intuition speaking to you. Or that's you originating an idea of what you want. And that's very important because whenever you have an idea of who do you think you are, or of doubt, of worry, of failing, of shame, of embarrassment, or of regret, that's coming from your logic. That's coming from your analytical mind, from your paradigm, that belief system that is trying to keep you in the same place. That belief system that does not want you to grow. And there is a big difference between your intuition and your logic. And even though we were raised to use our logic to be able to survive in this world, our logic will not get us to create, because our logic is going to try to keep us in the same spot. It's going to rationalize, well, why we shouldn't do it. And that's what we don't need it. That's why we don't need it. And here's a big difference between intuition and logic. Even though we were raised to use our logic to be able to survive in this world, our logic won't get us to create, because our logic is going to try to keep us in the same spot. And it's going to rationalize things like why we shouldn't do it and that we don't need it. But then we have our intuition telling us on the other side, you want more. There's something better for you. Go after it. And that part of you is trying to grow you. And understanding the two is super important, because sometimes we tend to think things like, well, maybe I don't deserve that, or maybe it's better if I stay where I'm at. It's safer. And in reality, that's just keeping us stuck. Those ideas are keeping us stuck. We need to understand that the law of this world is growth. And if we're not growing, we're dying. If our intuition is there to help us grow and our logic is there to keep us in the same spot, then it's important to understand that if you're listening to your logic, you're metaphorically dying. And if you're listening to your intuition, you're growing. Now, I want you to know that you're not literally dying, but a lot of times spiritually and emotionally, we can feel dead even though we have our eyes open and we're functioning in this world.